Hi friends, welcome to Early Learners and Right Brainers. Now today's topic is going to be who is the best? Like, is it Heguru, Shichida or Doman? And I want to explain what are these three schools of thoughts of right brain education, and are there any other people also who are responsible for right brain education. So the right brain education means what? So they say that anything that develops the brain of a child, like the whole brain, via the right brain stimulation is called as right brain education or whole brain education. Now earlier, before like 4-5 years before, this entire thing was called as right brain education. So there is a misunderstanding that when you say right brain education, only the right brain is developed and the left brain is left. So it's not that case. Whenever we say about right brain education, it means it is the whole brain development that is done via the right brain stimulation. So when we were in school, we were mostly whole brain developed using the left brain education. So now the new generation will have the right brain education, and earlier generation, like our generation, had the left brain education. So who are the pioneers of this education system? So flashcards is not the concept of Doman himself. It was discovered by some another person. The name is over here, and he did it in this year. So these two things are to be understood by all, because flashcards concept is there since so many years. Doman introduced it by using the help of neurosurgeon, nurse, and brain surgeons and others, and they researched on brain injured children. Then the brain injured children perform so well like normal children, so this entire research was applied on normal children, and it also created extraordinary brilliant results. And then Doman has created this book called as How to Teach Your Baby to Read, How to Teach Your Baby to Do Maths, encyclopedia program, and then How Smart Is My Baby, How Intelligent Is My Baby. All the links are provided in the description. You can always buy them from Amazon. So Doman is the person who pioneered this thing that okay, there is something that the children are born with and they're genius, and you have to just make them understand that there is something called as reading concept, language concept, maths concept, and just introduce them all this concept at a very early age. And he has proved it to so many kids, and now also his institution is working now. It's almost 100 years, I believe. So these things are not false, these things are true. I heard some people say that this is not scientifically proven and all. I believe some things science maybe have not proved it. I am not sure whether the papers are there or not. But what I know is that if this institution is there for 100 years and the kids are getting exceptional results and they are extraordinary, then what is the harm to try on our kids? It's like that. Also, this is proven that this works. The neurosurgeons and the neurologists and the pediatricians are all coming up saying that yes, the early education is very important. Like the children should be taught with a playful way, and this is going to help. So this comes under the Doman concept. Now, to go one step ahead, there is something called as Shchida. So Shchida is a Japanese person. So she introduced an advanced level of right brain education. She came up with the thought like a child, if he thinks from the heart, they can perform very well. So their concept is to nurture the heart. Now Doman's concept is to make the child understand the reading or the language. Shichida's concept is to teach the heart and let the child's heart govern everything, and the heart knows everything. The heart is the mind, and the heart can control the brain. And her ways are also like using flashcards and using so many activities, which I'm just going to elaborate. So she is of the thoughts of some kind of paramedical concepts. Like she feels that it's more psychological, and children can be easily made into supernatural or extraordinary genius people by helping them on a heart level. So she has taken the readings and the research of Glenn Doman, and then she has advanced by saying that if we show flashcards to normal child like 100, 200, 300 in a day, then it is going to be very helpful. So Glenn Doman says even if 10 are shown is fine. Shchida says even 100 are shown are good. Now because of this two people, there's a lot of confusion going on around all the mothers, like, oh, my child is only seeing 5, then other mother will say my child is viewing hundreds of cards. So I just want to say one thing. The concept of flashcard is the flashcards, when you flash them, are going to connect the right brain to the left brain. The neurons of the right and the left brain are going to get stronger. That is the main concept. Second thing, if you show 5 cards or 500 cards, the neurological bonding is going to be stronger. Now why Shchida says show 100 cards? Because she says that a child is able to hold all the information in the mind. So the more information you give, the better. But it should be done if the heart is open. So for opening the heart, she has an exercises which we all majorly miss it. And Glenn Doman says that even if you show 10 cards with consistency and keep changing the cards after 1 month or 2 months, that is more than enough. So both of them are right, and we have to follow what is good for our child. If your child is able to see 10 cards, let it be. If your child is able to see 100 cards, let it be. Either of the cases, we are happy because the neurological bonding of the neurons of left and right are achieved. Okay? Because the concentration of your child increases. Either of the case. Okay? So what is Shchida's way? Shchida says, let your child breathe in, breathe out. Let the child have an energy circle around it. The energy circle video is attached in the description and over here. Then she says that do the telepathy, like send messages to your child, like I love you, I'm there for you. Then she suggests like hug your child, love your child, and then start the flashing of the cards. So when that happens, the child is more receptive to see more cards. Okay, so it is one addition to what Glenn Doman has said. So there is no reason why we should get confused. We should understand that every child will view different number of cards. Some will see less, some will see more. But the concept of flashing is achieved even in 2 cards or even in 2000 cards. Of course, if the child sees more cards, he will remember or know more things. That is obvious. It's like traveling. If you stay in home like for 24 years, and if you go out and roam the world for 24 years, your experience is going to be different. So showing more cards is adding to the experience. The concept remains the same. The idea to have the right brain activated remains the same. Right brain is not activated by the number of cards. The right brain is activated by the frequency, how fast you are showing, the speed of the flashcards. If you are showing the flashcards like this, slowly, 1 minute 1 card, it's not going to help. But if you are going to show the flashcards very fast, like 1 second 1 card, that's the game. Then your child, even if he sees 5 cards, that's okay, because he's looking at the cards for 5 seconds non-stop. That is the place where the concept of flashcards is achieved. So flashcards is all about flashing the cards fast. It's not about the number of flashcards. Okay. Now coming to Shchida's journey, so everything that is based on love, 5-minute suggestion method that I have already explained, all that is Shchida's methods. Now coming to Heguru. So now Heguru believes in puzzles and Heguru believes in flashcards, Heguru believes in telepathy, Heguru believes in clairvoyance, breathing and breathe out, alpha music, all those things they believe. Shchida is the person who initiated the alpha music thing. Glenn Doman has not mentioned about it. Shchida has mentioned about alpha music, and one more music, I cannot recall the name, that she has suggested. So anything that activates your right brain music is suggested by Shchida. So Heguru has everything that Shchida has and everything that Glenn Doman has. Now the Heguru has one patent concept called as Hado reading. It says that the child can read, like even if they can learn thousands of books in one glance. Like they just read and they just remember. Now how that is done, that I don't know. But at Heguru, they say that they do everything. They do the flashcards, they do the telepathy, they do clairvoyance. There are so many activities I have listed down that you can go and check in the playlist that I have attached below. That is there. So many activities of right brain I have already explained that you can do. So Heguru is doing all those activities. And then one of the peculiar activity that I have seen of Heguru is the puzzles. So they have Arota puzzles. There are so many Tangram puzzles. There are many different puzzles that Heguru people are doing. So Shchida is not more concerned with the puzzle thing, but Heguru is more concerned about left brain's puzzles and right brain's puzzles, because they feel that puzzle is something imagination. Like you imagine like which slot is going to fit in what. So that is imagination. So if you see all these three, they have advanced themselves. Like one on the other, they have advanced. So these three people are the school of right brain education. So whatever my videos are there, whatever videos of other mompreneurs or Facebook groups are there, they are based on these three people. So are these three only the people who are educating on right brain? Or actually yes and no, both. These three people are authentic because they have their trademarks, they have achieved something, they have won the records, they have a patent on them. Like even Shchida has some concept that she has patent, and for Heguru also they have the Hado reading that they have. Speed reading is different and Hado reading is different. So Hado reading, they have the Heguru patent on it. They will never explain what it is unless you're the student. And also for being able to achieve Hado reading, it's just not a normal they have this syllabus like 0 to 3 years, 0 to 2 years, and 3 to 4 years. And in that, the kids who are absolutely able to achieve everything, like every activity of right brain, then they are going for the Hado reading. Or if they find, the teachers find that okay, no, this child is really like getting all the right brain activities and his right brain is actually activated, then they are putting them to the Hado reading. So these three people are there, they have won the records and everything, that's why we know them. But then there are so many other brands in India also who are coming up with this same concepts and they are providing information to you. Whether to trust them or not, I don't know. I'll personally always believe on Shchida, Heguru and Doman, because these three people have won the medals and records. But should we not encourage the new people? We can always encourage them. And we can always go with them also, because I'll tell you why. Because if you see, Glenn Doman was there, then Shchida advanced Glenn Doman, then Heguru advanced Shchida. So all of these three are advancing each or the other. So there will be someone who will advance all these three and create their own concepts, right? Because the right brain activities that these three people are suggesting are not their inventions. It has always been there in ancient times. Even Hado reading, although it is a patent concept, but if you think about Indian culture, we had this sadhus and Maharaj who used to learn everything at one glance, who could recall everything from their background. Like in the Ramayana or the Krishna series, we have seen that they used to get some information from the background and they could spell everything. So these things are there in the world since thousands of years. Only thing is we are getting exposed to them now with science. They are getting backed up with science. So we feel that okay, these things exist. But they used to be there since so many years, since thousands of years. So there will be someone who will again use Shchida, Heguru and Glenn Doman's concept and create their own new concept and get a patent on. So it's no harm to trust the new people also who come up with right brain education or who want to provide right brain education to your child. So there is no harm taking opinion of them also, is my personal opinion. Currently, I am not attached to any of these three. Heguru people had approached me because I was always on their Instagram and I used to always, whatever they used to put quiz, I used to always reply. So there was a communication between us and they told me that they will have a free session of right brain education with all the Facebook group that I had. So that was, I think that was in June or May, I think. So no, it was in the 9th of May. So that time we all spoke with the Heguru school teachers and we all only asked about flashcards. So I have requested them that maybe someday you take another class with us, and if they have time, maybe we can ask them many questions. So that's it. So just wanted to explain like what these three schools are, and why you should know them, and what should your journey of flashcards be. Keep tuned into my channel and always subscribe, like and comment. Thank you and bye bye.